Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. The University of Vermont Extension 4-H program serves more than 7,000 young people all across the state every year. Some of the 4-H programs have been around for generations, particularly those in agriculture. But as you've seen on this program, in more recent years, 4-H also offers hands-on opportunities in areas like environmental science, teen leadership, and technology. One of the fastest growing areas of technology involves the use of unmanned aerial surveillance, or drones. Rebecca Gollan takes us to the 4-H drone camp.
There's a hiker lost in the woods. A drone has been deployed to help the search and rescue team on the ground find him.
Go 10 paces forward.
Luckily, they locate him just a few minutes later and are able to deliver critical supplies.
Found him.
Perfect. Come on back. Tell him to stay there.
Give him the bug
I'll
spray.
stay here.
Give him the bug spray.
Thank you, Tyler. Give him the bug spray, please.
It's just another day at drone camp.
I heard the words drone and camp together. That immediately got me interested. And then my parents explained it to me, like we'd be flying drones, learning about how to make maps and how to use the drones to do more than just leisurely fly around. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yesterday you learned that you can actually make maps.
The camp is being held at the University of Vermont, and it's focused on introducing these campers to different types of drone technology, as well as general safety and risks involved in using that type of craft.
My first thoughts before coming to drone camp was just like flying the drone around and just having a good time, which is also what we did. But we got to learn more about the actual drones, like the EB and the Phantom and the Bebops.
The campers did get a chance to fly some small drones and test their skills on an obstacle course.
All right, give her a go.
So just push off?
Yep, that take off.
And then you guys did a little bit of obstacle course and you got to fly some drones yourselves. How did that go?
Personally, I didn't do very well. I didn't have very good depth perception, so I couldn't see the furthest cone. But other people seemed to have fun with it too. I had fun with it. I wasn't really going for time, but I still did pretty bad.
It was a little hard because it was pretty much a video game controller, but I don't play video games, so it's harder for me. Though other people who play video games were able to do it a lot easier. It was also really hard because it was windy, so that affected the drones a lot because they're so lightweight.
Despite the challenges, the campers had fun and learned something about drones at the same time. But that's not the only thing these kids are getting out of the experience. This camp is funded by a grant from the Air Force, and it's geared toward military kids who have a parent or caregiver who's active or retired from the Air Force.
Nationally, 4-H has had a partnership with the Department of Defense for many, many years. And one of the ways that 4-H is able to participate and to support military kids here in Vermont are through grant opportunities.
The idea is that giving these kids the chance to get together and have a fun camp experience helps build a community they might not otherwise have.
Military kids, especially here in Vermont, there aren't active duty bases. They are geographically dispersed, these families, and sometimes they don't know any other military kids. So being able to provide these opportunities where members of this population can come together and in a fun environment, make friends.
It was a great way for like people to bond, especially like military kids and Air Guard kids, just to like bond together and like have like the same kind of background, I guess. And you get to meet a lot of new people.
I just wanted to go because I have other friends from other places, like other camps that I met here, and I liked that. That was pretty cool, being able to be like, oh hey, I know that person. Let me walk over and say hi, so that way you weren't like all alone and walking into it.
My dad was in the Air Guard, retired, and that did interest me because I am looking at being in the military, and drone flying seemed to be a good position. So learning about drones now and how we can use them for more than just having fun flying around and almost hitting trees could be used to help people. So that kind of persuaded me into trying it.
You can attempt to land in the box for bonus points. Oh well.
After the search and rescue and obstacle course, staff from the UVM Spatial Analysis Lab, who are leading the camp, took data and imagery of the UVM campus. They then went into the computer lab to teach the campers how to download those images and make maps.
Yes, what's up?
You can make detailed maps, like you can build things using drones to do the layout. Because, for example, like when we used the Phantom to take pictures of Southwick Hall, we did that, well, we broke up into 4 groups and each group did it. And then on the 3D model, we were able to take measurements of it and see like the arc, the X, Y, and Z.
I thought it was pretty cool that we could take a few pictures, 10 to 20 or so, and make a 3D model out of it. I was surprised how detailed it got, with the exception of a few pieces of the model missing, as the drone didn't get those parts. So that was very interesting that we could make a 3D model out of just some pictures from a drone.
Kleinman says it's all about giving kids a chance to find something they're inspired by.
It's really about helping youth find their spark by providing opportunities for kids to find something that they're passionate about or interests, and we're trying to expose them to those opportunities. Once the youth finds that spark or finds that connection, it begins to send them on a positive trajectory, and so hopefully the path that they take through life will build off of that, and they can provide, learn about mentorships or different opportunities that will encourage and support that interest that they might have. So whether it's animals, whether it's drones, whether it's photography, whether it's rocketry, whether it's really anything, we're just about providing those different types of opportunities, bringing kids to them and hoping that they can find their spark and set them on that positive trajectory through life.
So did you like it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this camp. It was a lot of fun.
I liked everything so far. The counselors were fun. All the professional drone flyers, they were all fun and easy to work with because they made it easy to work with. So it was a very good experience flying and watching drones fly. So that was a good camp.
It's a 4-H partnership that's helping Vermont's military kids soar and giving them a safe place to land. At the University of Vermont, I'm Rebecca Gollin with Across the Fence.
What a great time. The drone camp was offered specifically to children with family in the military. 4-H also offers drone camps and other STEM-related activities to non-military affiliated kids around the state. For more information, you can contact your local extension office. Back in 2015, a then brand new 4-H program earned the Governor's Award for Environmental Excellence. This afternoon, we look back at the beginnings of the 4-H Try for the Environment program. Here's Across the Fence's Keith Silva.
When the noon bell rings, the milk dispenser is the place to be at Stowe Elementary.
We have chocolate milk on one side and I think 1% milk on the other, so it's working out great.
The dispenser is a recent addition in the lunchroom. Students used to drink milk out of cartons.
I used to think, well, our school's really good at recycling stuff, but we weren't.
We figured out on one day there are 244 milk cartons in the trash. That's over, and we estimated that would be 44,000 a year, more 2,800 pounds of garbage.
So we decided that we had to, in some way, reduce that amount of cartons. And so we thought up of the milk dispenser, and that definitely reduces all the trash by a lot.
The story of how these fifth graders reduced the amount of trash in their school begins back in December, at a rather messy time. Stowe Elementary was one of several teams of Vermont students who conducted a waste audit. They dug through the trash to determine what could have been recycled or composted instead of being thrown out. The audit was part of a workshop on waste reduction initiatives hosted by University of Vermont 4-H's Try for the Environment program.
And when you do service learning, it really has to be an area that's meaningful to the participant. You start to find areas and topics within the environment that you can structure a program that won't take 3 or 5 years to see results. You really have to have something where the actions of the students will be able to see results within the time frame of a school year. And if they see results from their actions, they're going to be more likely to take action again. And that's what we strive for when we're trying to develop our young leaders.
Once the students completed the workshop, they were tasked to try to come up with an idea to reduce the waste in their school. Micah Green is the leader of Stowe Elementary's Try team.
The students were really excited after the workshop to come back here and be able to look and see how does this apply to our school. And so when we collected, I think, about 80 pounds of trash. And the kids then, we went to work and sorted them, and we sorted them by wings in the building. And then the kids sorted the trash by what can be recycled, what's compostable, and what are we going to end up with just trash. We found out that it was somewhere around 40% of our total trash was actually recyclable or compostable and could be diverted elsewhere. I had the students look at all of the items that we were collecting and really take note of what were we finding the most of in our trash. And milk cartons was by far and away the most.
Green and his team were able to work with administrators and the food service staff to get the dispenser installed. The results were immediate.
We phased out milk cartons and started solely with the milk machine all within this 1 week of time, and we were going from filling up 4 to 5 50-gallon trash bags with just milk cartons over the course of 5 school lunches to now we have a 5-gallon bucket of trash. And there were obviously no milk cartons in there.
It is more expensive to fill the dispenser than to offer single-serve milk cartons, so saving the environment does come at a higher cost. But as the students learned, there are other ways to save.
Sadly, it's more expensive to do the right thing and to get rid of these things properly. But we did find that in doing this, we're greatly reducing our trash. We went down from 3 pickups a week to now we're getting picked up twice a month for our trash. So it's a significant savings.
The amount of trash that's being reduced at Stowe Elementary complies with Vermont's universal recycling law. Starting in July 2015, recyclable materials are banned from Vermont landfills. The students' efforts to reduce, reuse, and recycle sets an example for this community. Ellie Ventura is the Communication and Outreach Coordinator for the Lamoille Regional Solid Waste District.
People, and I think our Stowe Elementary Tri-Team members voice that really well, that they are going home and composting, they are talking to other people. It takes one person, but that one person can affect so many other people. Since we're all in this together, having these little messengers going out and sharing such an important part of behavior change that we're all going to be expected is a really critical piece to making sure that the message about the law is communicated effectively to get people on board.
These fifth graders have learned valuable lessons about conservation and waste reduction. They've also learned an important tenet of 4-H, learning by doing.
You will help out the environment more when you're older because you can take more charge on what you want to do. And when you do that, it's helping more than just one person, it's helping the whole world and your state.
I think we actually made it fun because sorting trash and compost and recycling is fun. And going up to a milk dispenser and getting milk is fun. So I think just doing that helps people realize how important it is, even if they're not really realizing because it's just fun.
I think it's just really going to help the state learn about trash and that it does affect people.
And if every school does this in the world, we can know that we have a healthy environment and everything will be fine.
Saving the environment, one reusable glass of milk at a time. In Stowe, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
4-H continues to expand its environmental programs. Once again, for more information, contact your local extension office. That's our program for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. I'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.